the fallout from Epstein files for both Donald Trump and also for MAGA is just getting worse and worse and worse. Now, guys, I'm telling you, this is not heading towards the direction Donald Trump wanted it to head. It is heading to a complete disaster. Now we have a report from CNN where they are saying that Epstein and Bannon text sparked MAGA Civil War. Before I play the video, guys, and share with you my commentary and my understanding of the situation, I want you to consider subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, and watch till the end. Very, very important. Take a listen.
New messages between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein released in the Epstein files have ignited something of a civil war in MAGA world. In one message, Bannon suggests President Trump should be removed from office during his first term for erratic behavior. The Department of Justice also released a 2-hour video of Bannon interviewing Epstein for a potential documentary. This is Bannon asking about Epstein's time spent in prison in 2008.
You're telling me that during that day, you never had a moment. You sat there and go, what the f have I done with my life? And I'm in a 6x9 jail cell.
You're suggesting I was somewhat depressed, and how could this happen to me?
I'm not saying depressed. I'm saying a moment of awareness of how could I get myself into this situation.
No, I would just say how strange that this happens. It's strange. People would either ask to borrow money or make some other types of comments about it. In the beginning.
What were the comments? At the beginning, what were the comments?
It serves you rich guys right that you're here next to me.
There was nothing about your crimes.
No.
So all this rumor you hear all the time about people in prison that commit the type of crimes you commit, you're saying in your personal thing is not true?
No.
It was all because you were rich?
Yes.
Bannon did not return messages from CNN, but said in a statement to the New York Times that his communication with Epstein was all done to, quote, secure 50 hours of interviews from a reclusive subject. For more on this, I want to bring in David Urban, former Trump campaign advisor and CNN senior political commentator. David, great to see you. You're shaking your head. I want to get to why in just a second. You know, the 25th Amendment reference from the Epstein files has caused some uproar inside the MAGA sphere. It's dated December 31st, 2018, and it's a text exchange between Bannon and Epstein. And we should note the context is unclear. But Bannon says, going to blow him up right out of the box. White House has zero plans to punch back. Fort Apache with no cavalry en route. Jeffrey Epstein then says, in no soldiers in the fort. He is really borderline, not sure what he may do. And then Bannon replies, I think it's beyond borderline 25th Amendment. And we reached out to Bannon on this exchange and have not received a response, but people like Roger Stone and Marjorie Taylor Greene are speaking out. So tell me about why you were shaking your head and tell me what you were hearing inside the president's supporters.
Yeah, so, John, as you said also, you left out General Flynn and many, many others. If you go to Twitter and just look at, MAGA influencers or just Google, or put in the Twitter search, Bannon, Epstein, see what comes up. There is not one supporter, not one MAGA person that's supporting Steve Bannon for a variety of reasons. One, it looks like he signed up to try to rehabilitate a person who committed horrendous sex crimes. You hear him in the interview with Jeffrey Epstein. He doesn't say, nobody in prison talked to you about being a pedophile. He doesn't call him out. He's trying to be polite to him, it seems. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And there's something like 19 other hours of tape that have yet to been released that Steve Bannon says that he's keeping because he was some sort of double secret agent and was going to really try to blow Jeffrey Epstein up. Well, Roger Stone and many others in the MAGA universe think that that's a crock. And if Steve Bannon is going to be out there trying to defend himself, he better get out there quickly because the narrative does not look good for Steve Bannon at this point. It looks like he was out there to line his pockets defending a sex offender.
How do you think the president will react to all of this?
Listen, so Steve Bannon got a pardon at one point in time along the route here. We know that they were close. I am, from what I hear lately, is that there have not been that much communication with Steve Bannon and any senior officials in the administration in lieu of these revelations. And I can't imagine that the 25th Amendment revelation inures him to the president any more than he's far away, getting further. And I know that this most recent revelation is going to push that boat even further away from this administration.
Yeah, again, we'll have to see if the president is asked in any detail about this. But that comment about the 25th.
Well, of course, Steve Bannon, in a recent interview, he said that if Donald Trump does lose the midterm, then we are all going to the prison. And he was most likely also referring to the fact not only that the crimes he has committed, but also the crime that he committed in terms of sex trafficking, his connection with Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm pretty sure that he is going to go to jail. And now MAGA, his base, Donald Trump's base, is not going to support him whatsoever. Rather, they would want him to rot in jail.
The amendment was 2018. It's hard to imagine what was going through Bannon's head at that point. David Urban, thank you for explaining the discussions that are taking place.
Not going away, John. Not going away.
Doesn't appear to be. David Urban, thank you.
A new twist in the Epstein files is playing out as we speak. Les Wexner, the billionaire former owner of Victoria's Secret, is giving congressional testimony, a deposition in Ohio, about his connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Just a short time ago, Wexner told lawmakers, quote, "I was conned, I have done nothing wrong, and I have nothing to hide." Wexner went on to say that Epstein stole hundreds of millions of dollars from his family. The 88-year-old has been connected to Jeffrey Epstein as far back as the 1980s and says he cut off communications with Epstein in 2007. I'm going to go straight to CNN's Kara Scannell. Kara, you've been
He did not cut off any ties with Epstein. He said that in 2007 he cut off ties with him, and then there was a business dealing between him and Jeffrey Epstein in 2000. I think it was 2011 or 12. These pedos, all of them, including Donald Trump, they're lying.
Some terrific reporting on Lex Wexner, separate and apart from what's happening in this deposition. What can you tell us?
Well, Dan, I mean, the Republicans and the Democrats want to know from Wexner what his relationship was with Jeffrey Epstein, particularly as it relates to the money. And at CNN, we have reviewed the Epstein files and have found records that show that Wexner's attorneys told investigators in 2019 that they believe that Wexner had initially gotten together with Epstein in the 1980s when he was recommended by other sophisticated financiers, and that Epstein had managed his money then until there was that initial state investigation in Florida into Jeffrey Epstein. And it was at that point that Epstein had turned the reins of the business or his personal financials back over to Wexner. And Wexner's lawyers told investigators then that they had, Wexner's wife had then taken over control of the finances and discovered that Epstein had stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from them. That is something that is of interest here. And it was from that point that Wexner said that he cut off ties with him. The lawmakers who, from the House Oversight Committee, who are sitting with Wexner today, have said that they want to follow the money because it was the money that gave Epstein the ability to know the rich and powerful and his entree into that whole world. One of the members who actually traveled to Ohio, Representative Robert Garcia, was on CNN this morning, and here's what he said he wanted to learn today.
Most important information for us is really about the money. We know that Wexner was Jeffrey Epstein's single largest benefactor. Wexner, of course, is incredibly wealthy, a billionaire, obviously very well known, not just here in Ohio, but across the country. And when you think about Epstein's wealth, whether it was the plane, the island, the amount of money he had, his homes, much of that came directly from Wexner. And we're not exactly sure why. It's not clear. While Wexner has said that Epstein was a money manager, the amount of wealth, the amount of money that was transferred over is so large that we have significant questions.
Now, Wexner has said that he cut off ties with Epstein.
I mean, they think we're stupid people. If you're transferring money to a pedo and then you come out and say, oh, he stole my money, and you hope and expect that all of us will believe you, no, it doesn't make any sense to us. It could happen once or twice, but he had connection with Jeffrey Epstein, the financier, the financier, quote unquote, whatever that means for him, for a very long time. So, yeah, you are lying and you're getting caught.